Y'all know there was a time in this country where some really good rooster men, they'd show their chickens and they'd take what they learned and they would improve their families of chickens and their program. So that was a noble motivation for showing chickens, and the perception at that time against us, it wasn't that negative. So we're going to go on years from there, and you start getting these big rooster factories, big farms. You get these foreign buyers in, and the motivation on how to breed chickens changed because of the knife. Instead of having a really well-bred, strong, good game rooster, it gravitated more toward a short-bred, mongrel type rooster, bred to have a short outcome to please these buyers and these gamblers who don't like standing in front of drag pits. So when all this started happening, the perception of the society changed a lot toward us because of the criminal element that was brought into the sport and the gambling and the big money. So a lot of really good people left the sport because they were scared to have to face these increased charges, and they were family people with careers. And during that time, a lot of really bad people got into the sport. And a lot of these big farms, these rooster factories, if you'll remember, catering to these knife buyers, these crappy old roosters, how many of them went to prison because there's drug dealers? And again, where'd they get the drugs? So this became big in the sport. And they had a big influence on the pits. And so the pits started showing more of these knife events and things. And also, this bad element showed up. It really changed the perception against us so bad that lawmakers increased the penalties on our sport so much that eventually it shut it down. Now, during this time, the game breeders, they knew what was happening. The perception needed to be changed, but because of how much money was involved, they couldn't do it. So they sold out. So the thing I dreamed about all my life was being a rooster man and showing these roosters. And I got to do a lot of it, and I appreciate it, but I thought I'd get to do it all my life. So while I was a child, I'd lay in bed and dream of being a rooster man. Now as an old man, I lay there and I dream about what it might have been if these men hadn't have sold out for 30 pieces of silver. Now, let me tell you, there ain't nothing wrong with selling roosters. There ain't nothing wrong gambling on roosters. But this was never meant to be an occupation where people made millions and millions of dollars and brought in all this negative people toward us, into us. This was meant to be a sport of gentlemen who showed their roosters to improve gamefowl because they had a passion for gamefowl. And what it was then, when it was right, at the end, it was nothing like that. So y'all might not think much of what I say, but it's the truth. And the truth will stand when the world's on fire. And the people who cause these problems, I really resent you because you took away the thing I love the most and the thing I wanted to do the rest of my life. And I resent the hell out of you. And I doubt you even know you done it, but I hope you do. And you ruined something really great.